What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin Today, XCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Okay, here we are on this, the 5th day of June, with about 8 hours left in the day, sitting here at 1.48 cents. We have gone just below 1.5 cents now. Looking to make our final onslaught to the downside here. If we're looking at the daily RSI, this typically is the extent of what we see to the downside in the RSI. We can get lower. We've seen lower readings before. OnyxCoin is accustomed to getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out, getting in, right? Doing this kind of stuff, especially recently. My expectation would be that what we're seeing here is a very clear indication that we're near the end of this move, as long as it happens the way that I expect it to. If this doesn't happen the way I expect it to, there's a strong chance, not a likelihood, but a chance, that we could go down to the golden ratio, which is down at 1.233 cents. We very well could go down there, you guys. Finding support at the 0.5, rejecting the 382, and then coming back down, we'd probably go down to the golden ratio. Okay, so there's a couple of things that need to take place here over the coming days, because I do expect we're going to interact with the 0.5 here either by the end of today, 8 hours, 36 minutes from now, or very early tomorrow. Okay, there's a couple of circumstances we need to see happen in the next 48 hours if we want this to be the low and we want to move higher from here and break out of this overall, right? Okay. If we want to go lower, I'll go over what we need to see for that as well. But looking at the daily RSI, what I'm looking for is a rejection. Okay, I'm looking for a rejection off of the oversold zone. That's what I'm looking for, a rejection. We need a rejection. As we rejected the overbought zone and it brought us hell, we need to reject the oversold zone and bring us life. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for. So today or tomorrow, get down to this low. Today, if you close here or lower, you will be in the oversold zone. Effectively, you will be in the oversold zone. You are in the oversold zone now. So here or lower. Close here or lower, get into the oversold zone, whatever. Make your low today, make your low tomorrow, it doesn't matter. But tomorrow, we need to close tomorrow green. Tomorrow needs to close green, and I think it will close green, and get out of the oversold zone with the RSI. That's the expectation. If today we close red right here or lower and we close in the oversold zone, and then tomorrow we could close green and outside the oversold zone, that sets us up for some very bullish stuff. That's the first step we want to see. The next thing, ideally, would be to get the RSI. It doesn't have to happen tomorrow, but over the coming days, before we get any kind of pivot in the RSI, you know what I mean, any kind of pivot like that, we want to just essentially move straight up until we're above the 50, okay? That would be ideal. It would be very ideal if we reject the oversold zone and we move up above the 50. If it all happens tomorrow, we get one bullish day and we just move up there tomorrow, cool, that'd be great. But over the rest of the week, sure, whatever. Going into next week, I don't care. It doesn't have to be a perfect straight line like this, but just something, I don't know, let's see. Something like this would do. Something like this is fine, right? A little turbulence is fine, but something like that, right? Reject, get above the 50, something like that, right? You don't want to do this. You don't want to reject the 40. Although I will say that rejection on the 40 there, I'm not going to go all the way down there. I don't care to. That rejection on the 40 there doesn't seem to have held you down for too long, right? You rejected the 40, bounced off the oversold zone, and then went up. That's not common. If you get out of the oversold zone and reject the 40, you tend to go down lower, but I think you just had enough low side, so you're ready to go up right there, right? Just volatility is what that is. So what we're looking for is tomorrow to close green, to get us outside of the oversold zone, reject the oversold zone, and then most importantly, what would be ideal is to get above the 50 when this move is overall said and done. Whenever we do move up here, before we start to consolidate to any real degree, we want to be above the 50. If we're not above the 50, that's not the end of the world. It's not terrible, but at least we got to get above the 40. What we don't want to see, I've talked about what we want to see. Let's talk about what we don't want to see. What we don't want to see is, you can break below the 0.5. You can break below 1.43 cents. You can go below there. We don't want to see anything too crazy below there. Like, let's not go below 1.4 cents. Can we agree on that? Just don't go below there. Because if you go below 1.4 cents, I think that opens up the opportunity to go down to 1.2 cents again. So hold 1.4 cents as support. What we don't want to see is a break below 1.4 cents. What we don't want to see is today to close red, tomorrow closes green, and the next day closes red, rejecting off the 40. It could set us up for some bullish divergence, but oftentimes oversold rejection with a 40 rejection as well, that's not good. That's not very conducive to higher prices, and likely we would go lower. Something like that would up the chances that we go down to 1.23 cents. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I kind of hope we do go down here because I would love to buy more OnyxCoin at these prices. I think that would be phenomenal, not just for me, but for everybody. I just don't see us doing that, okay? We are in this very well-formed pattern. Very, very well tight-knit pattern here. Lower highs, lower lows, very perfect parallel pattern. I just have a hard time seeing us, you know, and we got some wicks here. I don't have it drawn perfectly. I could see us going here. I have a hard time seeing us break out of it. Like if we go down here, we'd be breaking out of this bullish pattern to the downside. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. It would make a lot more sense that we break out to the upside. Anything can happen. Just because it doesn't make sense to me doesn't mean it can't happen. But my expectation would be that we probably do find support here at 1.43 cents. We're seeing our final onslaught take place now, right now, over the next 8 hours, 32 minutes. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and see if we can validate this. So looking at the 1 hour here, a little bit volatile over the past day or two. Low, high, low, oversold, overbought, oversold, right? Yes, we got a little oversold. Overall, you do look bearish. You're very near completion of this move down. Very, very near, but you're just not quite there yet, right? Oversold, rejected the 40. You got above the 40 and then back below it. I would consider that a rejection of the 40. That would imply that you have lower to go, right? Something like that. Even this, even if we do get above the 40, we don't want to see this above and then shot back below down to the oversold zone on the daily time frame, right, on that RSI. 1 hour. 1 hour here, I would think that you go a little bit lower. If you look at these lows, you've kind of got higher lows coming up here. Just missed it with this one. I would expect the, and I don't have the straightest drawing capabilities here, but you probably do go down a little bit lower. A little bit lower into the oversold zone, get a slightly lower low, push the price down. You'll probably wick here and then close up near this. You won't close down here. You'll probably wick down there. It'll be fast. 1 hour, right? And then you'll probably move back up, but I don't think this is the hour. It's possible that you're in a double bottom. It is possible that you've got some kind of double bottom, but I don't expect it. You might get a little bounce because of it, but I doubt that you find anything above like 1.54 cents. You probably don't go above there, okay? 4 hour RSI, looking for confirmation on the idea that we go lower here. Again, it's very possible this is a double bottom. We don't have to go to 1.43 cents. We're right there anyways. Like it's very possible we could be experiencing some buying pressure. We're not the only people with our eyes on this thing, but if we look at the 4 hour RSI too, you've kind of got these higher lows here. That might call for a little bit lower course of action as well. And this would actually, to me, it implies that we have a little bit lower to go. From where we are here, I think that 1.43 cents is the definition of a little bit lower to go. It's just right there. You know what I mean? It's just a little bit lower to go. And with this, you know, looking the way it does, I would think, you know, we got 8 hours left in the day. We got 2 4 hour candles left, including this one. I would think that today we find our low. Today we find our low, and then tomorrow we'd start moving up. Ideally, that'd be the thing. So yeah, and what we've got here too is higher lows. If we find the low where I think we're going to find the low, we'll have another higher low. So that'll be 2 higher lows, bullish divergence here, double bullish divergence, because you'll have lower lows and then another lower low, right? Lower lows here, and then that will create the next lower low. That's double bullish divergence to form your base off of. And we will likely do what this move tried to do, this fake out move tried to do, but we will actually get some follow through. That's my expectation. Inevitably, guys, whether we find support at 1.43 cents or we go down to 1.23 cents, I don't think we go down to 1.23 cents. But if we do, regardless of what happens, we are still geared for the upside. I very much do expect that by the end of this month, we will be at prices that are in this area, okay? Absolutely will be above these highs, but that could be, I mean, we might be above that high next week. Maybe it's the week after. I don't know. I would expect by the end of the month, we're worth anywhere from, I would think more than 8 cents. I would think that we're probably even above 10 cents, probably in this area. And then going into July, we're going to be reaching for these targets here. If not, I mean, it is very possible we could see these targets still by the end of the month. OnyxCoin, you guys remember, right? It took a whole 2 weeks last time. This is a 3-day time frame, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4 3-day time frames. So that's a 12-day period, less than 2 weeks time, to make this 20x move here, right? From a low to a high. Oh, I guess it's 5 3-day time frames. So that'd be just over a 2-week period. 15. Right? 2 weeks time to make that move. Whenever I say we could be at 26 to 32 cents by the end of the month, by the end of June, I really do mean it. We don't need a lot of time, right? That same move from the current prices would take us all the way up to 30 cents right now. And again, in like a 15-day period. So we absolutely could be there by the end of the month. I'm just not expecting it. If we get there by the end of the month, that would imply that a lot of crypto is still going to grow in July, and that OnyxCoin consolidates and moves down. It can happen. Not everything has to top off at the same time, but I'm just saying I expect that we're going to make some serious headway between now and the end of the month, and then finish off early to mid-July, 26 to 32 cents. That's the expectation. That's been the expectation for a very long time. I mean, other than the timing for a long time has been expected to be the end of June, if not very, very, very early July. But now it's more likely going to be sometime in July. But regardless, tomato, potato, whatever, guys, we're gonna wait. We're gonna sit on our hands. We're not gonna panic sell. We're not going to try and play the short game, because the long game, anything that we worry about right here is insignificant in comparison to what's to come. So just sitting patiently on our hands for this next move up, this next rip. It's going to be glorious. It's going to take us to prices that we haven't seen in years. And we're just waiting patiently for that. So I got nothing else to say. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye.